Hi, my name is Emma Guerrero, and today I'll be talking about ADHD, otherwise known as Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. ADHD is a behavioral syndrome that's associated with hyperactivity, impulsivity, and attention. Those three things don't necessarily always go together with ADHD. Sometimes a student could be more hyperactive and impulsive, or they could also only be inattentive. They don't necessarily go together. ADHD is probably the most common disorder or disability that students have in school. It's often associated with other disabilities or psychological disorders. It usually doesn't go by itself. There are some accommodations that we can make for students in the classroom. Some physical accommodations that we can make is, first of all, seating them towards the front of the classroom or with a trusted student so that they have a lesser chance of being inattentive or not focused. We can also give them the opportunity to go outside and exert themselves a little bit, have some physical activity so that they can focus a little bit more and maybe even learn more outside if they're getting to do some physical activity. Also giving them breaks every once in a while in class to exert themselves and not get too hyped up would be good. And then we can also allow them to go to another classroom in order to take a test or a quiz so that the distractions are on the lowest possible. We can also make some academic accommodations for these students. First of all, we can, if we are having a difficult lesson and there's an easier part of the lesson, we can suggest to do the more difficult part of the lesson towards the beginning of the day where the student is more likely to be focused. This way, you know, if we have a difficult concept and the easy concept is at the end, they don't have to pay as much attention towards the end when it's easy. We would also like to make sure that we are limiting the amount of assignments that are the same. So we don't want to be too repetitive. For example, if I were to ask my students to write a bunch of definitions for vocabulary words, I'd probably need to break that up for my ADHD students or for everyone, just so that obviously that would be pretty boring to do, so we don't want them to lose focus just because the content isn't interesting enough. We want to make sure that we give our ADHD students an opportunity to pair up with a trusted partner or sit in a group that is going to cause less distraction. We also want to be able to give our students an opportunity to demonstrate their understanding in several different ways. For example, we just need to make sure that our instruction is differentiated. So if I were to ask students to write an essay rather than writing it, maybe I can allow that student to say it to me or present it to me or create a video. Several different opportunities for that student to demonstrate their understanding. Also, instead of an exam that's going to take 2 hours, we could possibly break it up into a couple short quizzes so that that student has the best opportunity to do well on that exam. Finally, similar to differentiated instruction, we can provide that student with opportunities to answer questions differently. So like if they're not comfortable you know, simply writing their answers, we can ask them to circle them or, you know, draw the answer. There are several different things that we can do. Anyways, that is about ADHD. Thank you.